If the mind is attached to any experience, this is bondage. When the mind is detached from all experience, this is liberation. Listen again, slowly. If the mind is attached to any experience, this is bondage. When the mind is detached from all experience, this is liberation. Most people misunderstand this immediately. They think it's about good versus bad experiences. They think detachment means suppression. They think liberation is some pleasant mental state. All wrong. What is experience? Experience is not the event. Experience is the psychological relationship to the event. Pleasure, pain, praise, insult, success, failure. None of these bind you by themselves. What binds you is the mind saying, I want this again. I must avoid this. This defines me. This threatens me. That movement, grasping or resisting, is bondage, not the experience. What does attachment actually mean? Attachment is dependence. The mind says, I need this feeling to be okay. Without this, I am incomplete. If this goes away, I suffer. At that moment, you are no longer free. Why? Because now life dictates your inner state. You are a slave to outcomes. That is bondage. Then what is detachment? Detachment is not distance. Detachment is not indifference. Detachment is not renunciation. Detachment is non-dependence. Experience happens, joy happens, pain happens, but the mind does not cling. It does not negotiate with reality. It does not demand continuation or escape. Experience comes, experience goes. You remain untouched at the center. That is liberation. Why detached from all experience? Because attachment is subtle. You can let go of pain and still be enslaved by pleasure. You can reject failure and still be addicted to success. As long as any experience owns you, you are not free. Freedom is not choosing better chains. Freedom is no chains. The hard truth. Most people don't want liberation. They want better experiences, more control, permanent highs, spiritual pleasure. That is still attachment. That is still bondage. Liberation is not an upgrade of the mind. It is the end of the mind's authority. When experience matters to your identity, you are bound. When experience no longer defines you, you are free. No practice, no technique, no tomorrow. Either you see this or you don't. And if you see it, life reorganizes itself without effort. Silence does the work. Most people don't want liberation. This sentence alone destroys almost all spiritual seeking. Why? Because what people call seeking truth is actually seeking relief. They are not asking what is false in me. They are asking how can I feel better, safer, superior, calmer, special. That is not liberation. That is psychological insurance. Better experiences. The mind says, if my relationships improve, if my body improves, if my finances improve, if my spiritual state improves, then I will be free. But look carefully. The structure of dependence has not changed. Only the quality of the cage has improved. A gold cage is still a cage. More control. Control is fear disguised as intelligence. The mind believes, if I can predict, plan, optimize, regulate and manage life, I will be safe. But safety is not freedom. Control means constant vigilance, constant adjustment, constant anxiety beneath the surface. A free being does not manage life. Life moves through them. Permanent highs. This is the most dangerous illusion. Spiritual highs, gym highs, flow states, meditative bliss are all still experiences, and every experience contains its opposite implicity. The moment you chase a high, you have already accepted the low. The mind wants continuity. Reality is discontinuous. Conflict is inevitable. Spiritual pleasure. This is ego at its most refined. I am detached. I am conscious. I am beyond ego. I don't react. Who is speaking? The same mind. Now wearing white cloths. Spiritual pleasure is more addictive than worldly pleasure because it gives identity plus superiority. That is the deepest bondage. Liberation is not an upgrade of the mind. This is critical. The mind always thinks in progress. Better, higher, purer, more evolved. But liberation is not evolution. You cannot refine illusion into truth. No amount of polishing makes a mirror into the sky. Liberation is seeing the mind's limits clearly. and therefore withdrawing authority from it. The mind continues, but it no longer commands. It is the end of the mind's authority. Authority ends when belief ends. Not through effort, not through discipline, not through suppression, simply through seeing. Thought cannot deliver freedom. Experience cannot deliver permanence. Control cannot deliver safety. Identity cannot deliver peace. When this is seen deeply, the mind loses power naturally. Just like a child stops fearing the monster the moment they say it's a shadow. When experience matters to your identity, you are bound. This is diagnostic. Ask yourself, who am I when praised? Who am I when ignored? Who am I when desired? Who am I when alone? If experience alters your sense of self, you are living as a reflection. You don't have a center, you have a weather vane. When experience no longer defines you, you are free. Freedom does not mean numbness. It does not mean withdrawal. It does not mean passivity. It means joy without clinging, pain without resistance, action without psychological residue. Life happens, but it does not accumulate. Nothing sticks. No practice, no technique, no tomorrow. Because all practices imply time, and time implies I am not okay now, but I will be later. That postponement is the trap. Truth is not achieved, it is recognized. Either you see the false as false now, or you are playing games. Either you see this or you don't. This is not elitism, this is fact. Seeing is not gradual, it is not intellectual, it is not emotional, it is structural insight. Once seen, it cannot be unseen. And if you see it, life reorganizes itself without effort, because effort was only needed to maintain the false structure. When illusion collapses, energy is released, choices simplify, noise reduces, clarity increases, not because you try, but because conflict is gone. Silence does the work. Silence is not absence of sound. Silence is absence of psychological interference. When the mind stops interfering, intelligence operates, not yours, life's. And that intelligence needs no guidance. Liberation is not something to be achieved. It is what remains when the false is no longer protected. The mind survives by chasing experience, pleasure, meaning, control, even spirituality. As long as experience defines who you are, you will move from high to low, hope to fear, certainty to doubt. Freedom is not found in better experiences, but in seeing clearly that no experience can complete you. When this is seen, not intellectually, not emotionally, but structurally, the mind loses its authority. It may speak, evaluate, plan, but it no longer rules. Nothing needs to be practiced, nothing needs to be remembered, nothing needs to be carried forward. Seeing is enough. When illusion ends, effort ends. When effort ends, silence remains. And in that silence, life moves intelligently without you managing it.